With more imagination, we bring our dreams to life together.
Wow. That's a nice motto.
That's great. I did that many years ago.
And why you stopped?
I ask myself the same question. I really don't know.
You should do it again, man. Good luck!
With more inspiration, we reignite the fire inside. What drives GWM? The power of possibilities, the passion for innovation,
Where do we go next year?
the pursuit of perfection, empowering you to go further. GWM, go with more.
GWM, go with more.
What drives us? Curiosity to explore, passion to discover, thirst for adventure, energizing us to go further. With more courage, we scale new heights within ourselves.
Sure, no problem. You are, Mr. Wey, you are writing a soul on a soul. Why do you say that now? It's quite popular. I don't know. It's an old known. Film a video of an old and quiet building which has a very unique charm. I came across it on TikTok and found it quite interesting. So let's start. Okay. Actually, I'm going to briefly explain to you today. You should be able to see the big screen behind us, which displays our live broadcast stream today, which is kick off the new energy four-wheel drive era. So today we'll also discuss many topics related to technology. If you have any question about the new energy of our great warm motor technology, feel free to interact with us in real time. This is the second generation Snapdragon Max that we are currently pre-selling beside the popular color TVs, refrigerators, and large sofas. our car has its own unique technical features. That is to say, all of Great Wall, our new energy vehicle have entered the four-wheel drive era. We use the pioneering technology dependently innovative and developed by Great Wall. This development technology has many unique features. One of the biggest features is that under the same power output, both our DHT and Honda's hybrid system use one engine and two motors. Similarly, both our hybrid system and our TXT use one engine and two motors. We focus on one of the motors. There are two motors and only one is working, so we effectively reduce the axle load. Previously, axle load was high and the front wheels were particularly heavy. This affected one operating stability, the lifespan of the components, noise levels, and even passively safety. (50-50), yes. The acceleration performance have improved by 1.3 seconds per 100 kilometers compared to DHT. Moreover, we have effectively reduced the tire wear, which can also be said to have increased the tire life by 1.7 times. Whether it's cornering or driving on wet roads, there has been a significant improvement. According to statistics from the U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, four-wheel drive vehicles have a two-fold reduction in accident fatality rate compared to the two-wheel drive vehicles, which fully demonstrate the advantages of four-wheel drive. Of course, our four-wheel drive is different to the traditional one. We adopt hybrid technology, which is not a serious technology. It's hybrid technology. And our city driving is not as fuel consumption traditional perceived. We have a decoupled four-wheel drive system, and our rear axle is equipped with an intelligently controlled clutch. When the rear axle generates excitement at a high speed, we disengage it. Strictly speaking, we see the bit of fuel in urban driving with two-wheel drive. While the reason is that when accelerating rapidly in two-wheel drive, the tire will sleep. Under the same power output, they will sleep, but our four-wheel drive will never sleep. So if you sleep, you must be doing the work in place, which will increase fuel consumption. Therefore, we can see our urban driving system is unique and highly innovative globally, and it's architecturally innovative. It's simple, quite simple, and very concise. The first architecture means that we have comprehensive guarantee in terms of durability, maintainability, and reliability. position in front of us is the framework of our posture.
总说我觉得其实是非常好的一点，但是魏总可能在说了现在。
Actually, I just heard Mr. Wei say something that I think is really good, but Mr. Wei might be talking about the overall improvement of the PER, whether it's improvement of the overall contributed the guarantee of safety or the fuel economy. I actually think there's another important point.
然后我是觉得它是可以成为延期人的第一台4驱车的这个概念。就我不知道，因为
I think that could be the first version of the four-wheel car for the young
他们其实会很在意说我要买第一台车，我要去做一个什么样的选择。那可能现在
Because there may be many young friends in our live broadcast room, I think they are probably not very old. Many of them are in their 20s. They actually care a lot about what kind of choice they should make when buying their first car.
出行的一个保障，我觉得这点其实
Everyone is concerned about whether our appearance is attractive, whether our design is cool, or how much acceleration we can achieve from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. But I think that Mr. Wei just emphasized that we provide a safety guarantee for travel.
年轻化，
对，
年轻化、颜值控。
而且空间还大。
Xiao Juan is absolutely right. Firstly, our Snapdragon Max is a beauty in terms of design, with a youthful and attractive appearance.
音响，
还有车机，咖啡 OS，
这都有。除这儿吧，这个直观啊。
Ricoh has a spacious interior with 2.8 meters wheelbase, and it is also equipped with excellent sound system.
把它挪到了这儿。实际上他在做工的时候，他也不是两个电机一起做。
Move it here. Actually, when he is doing work, he didn't use two motors together. They work separately. So we moved the motor that was idle to the back. It doesn't sound complicated, but you have to think about this idea.
一拍脑门就说我挪一个电机。
也不简单。
I'm curious about your thought. He just slapped forehead and said, I move one.
现在所有的
It's not simple either. There are many stories behind them. To be honest, in our current hybrid models with two-wheel drive and the DHT technology, the axle weight of the front wheel is particularly heavy.
都不好解决。我们通过这样的一个。
Moreover, the MH includes energy absorption spatials, which means noise is not easy to solve. Though the innovation of such an architecture, we have solved this problem. And Mr. Wei, I think the biggest challenge for us are currently come from the entire hybrid control strategy. I believe that challenge in software part is actually very significant. Yes, that's right. Here I also want to introduce our netizen that technology we just mentioned has been applied to Xiaolong Max Raptor, as well as our Gaoshan and Blue Mountain. We see that this architecture is entered the four-wheel drive era because our cost effectiveness has been fully demonstrated. The current selling price is our Snapdragon Max is from 115,000. From 115,000 to 150,000, which means it offers an extremely high cost-performance ratio, a configuration that we used to only see these cars priced at 300,000 yuan is now available for around 100,000 to 150,000 yuan. Mr. Wei, I remember our long-range version has 28 kWh of battery capacity, which is roughly around 280 to 290 kilometers. Yes, I've noticed that our standard range is very conservative. Other car models with 28 kWh of battery capacity might only claim a range of 200 kilometers, but ours is quite realistic. So I understand that from this architecture perspective, we can accomplish what others need 3 motors to do with just 2. Furthermore, under such conditions, in terms of our overall cost effectiveness, all young people can purchase a self-driving vehicle at a price of 150,000 yuan, unlike other architecture like P1, P3, and P4, which cost at least 200,000 yuan or even more. Actually, I think the entire driving experience, including the axle and the ratio, as well as the off-road experience, such as winter rainy and snowy weather, has greatly improved driving safety. Yes, everybody needs it. Especially in the south, also has a great need for it. Previous many friends from the north have considered it might be safer to choose a 4-wheel drive vehicle. However, as you can see in recent years, it has a real axle. It has a device we call the clutch, specifically a dog clutch. Once you reach a certain speed, touching during high-speed cruising, it switches to wheel drive. We disconnected the mechanical structure from the rear wheel, so the motor doesn't rotate anymore. Of course, it doesn't consume energy now, right? The fuel consumption has decreased. It's very also fuel efficient and offer high cost performance ratio. Advocate for eco rights. I'd like to return to here that our hybrid connected 4-wheel drive system, which we call mixed quantity, is at least 10 to 15% more efficient than the so-called 4-wheel driving system in Zhengcheng. If you are driving on slope or with slightly larger undulations, our efficiency can be increased to nearly 20% higher than theirs. Because a few days ago, our president announced that we will always. Theory growth, which is quite simple, involves 4 processes. Each energy conversion undergoes attenuation. There is wear and tear because our system is directly driven by the engine to wheels, which is different. It's a very simple theory, so even the first-year junior high school student should understand it. When I first started, for example, other models that achieved over 90% effectively, then I saw that my teenagers was 90% or my motors was as 90%. As after multiplying them together, it becomes 20%. If we also count from transmission losses and energy efficiency of gasoline-powered generator in the extended range part, it's not good as a gasoline car. It even feels like something is wrong when we multiply them together here. We just talked about the off-road vehicle. We saw this model that Mr. Wei mentioned before. Our main focus is on the half-moon design. The motor behind the Speak 3 is similar to the iPhone, except for its larger technical architecture. This is Zone Z. Inside there are 4 gears, including a 4th gear and a 2nd gear. The most impressive in technology in the gearbox with 4-gear position is not a gear themselves, but rather than the power sleep technology. I'm holding the camera here, but that doesn't stop me from drawing the donkey that pancake. It's easy to understand. I'm holding the camera, but I need electricity. I'm hungry and I need to eat it. In our power sleep system, there is the star brand component. It can output power and tow when driving the wheels, and at the same time generate electricity to arrange the battery. Theoretically, battery in the middle has a range of 200 kilometers, which is about 60. Electricity. Why? I think it's because he has a heavy vehicle. If you replace it with 1.7 kWh electricity, it becomes a hybrid. Now a plug-in hybrid, actually the technology is similar. Both are decoupling forms, but more advanced and more suitable for off-road vehicles. Because off-road vehicles sometimes need to accelerate quickly and constantly discharge electricity. In this case, we need to recharge quickly and always maintain that kind of electricity, so that its acceleration consistency will become better. Also, Mr. Wei, I really want to ask, just now you mentioned that our battery is almost 60 kWh of capacity, and it's also an 800-volt high voltage battery pack. By the way, I noticed that other companies that are doing PS one dimension or extended range, they all use 400-volt batteries, and they don't use such a large battery like us. And the host, who is the elder lady, understand even more than I do. I've got to mention that is 200V architecture, so the power efficiency will be higher. Actually, this time I really had a good view of the entire GWM platform. The whole solution is very large, and with such a space, we can showcase all technology that is GWM should have, including components and other things. So I think I really had a feast for eyes today. And at the same time, there was also the explanation from Mr. Wei. Would you mind sharing more with me? Our Harvard-T architecture is also very traditional. We define his traditional Harvard-T architecture as strong off-road capacity. Although we have strong power just now, it is decoupled. We think it is very suitable for running in the desert. It cannot do rock climbing. If it does rock climbing, one reason is that it is heavy. And another is that the effect of two-wheel and four-wheel synchronization is much worse. Actually, it's not the output torch that breaks. It's the wheel. Screeches. The wheels spin rapidly, and the motor operates in such high speed that even a turn doesn't seem that heavy. We refer to this as redundancy, which inevitably leads to breakage, since the four wheels are physically interlocked. They must remain synchronized. Therefore, we must respect this technology. Given this physical structure, we have risky as accidents occur annually. That's why we have also analyzed off-road vehicle and corresponding terrain. Each vehicle is designed to suit a specific terrain, and this structure is highly reliable. Actually, placed with off-road vehicle, which traditionally needs to be reliable.
也做一做分析，什么车适应什么样的场地，这个架构是非常可靠的。实际上，真正玩越野的啊，这个
Actually, a truly good off-road vehicle
传统意义上
is one with a high weight and durable engine,
耐久、
whether it's
耐造，
diesel or gasoline. It's reliable and safe to drive.
实际上，这个我们进入了这个新能源时代，大家现在
Actually, we have entered the era of new energy vehicle.
省钱，
Nowadays, people don't want high fuel consumption.
现在就出现了这
They
个
want to save money while still having good acceleration.
P2 架构，也就是这个
That's why we have this so-called P2 architecture, which is new energy vehicle architecture developed from T.
就是一个
Actually, a truly good off-road vehicle is one with a high weight and a durable engine, whether it's diesel or gasoline.
放心。
It's reliable and safe to drive.
中国的发展速度太快，这个
China's development speed is too fast.
我跟你讲，那个全
When we get to the tank, I will tell you about something particularly interesting about our display. Okay?
会用到整个 Hybrid T。
坦克的300，
Apart from the tank 300, which other model of this car will use entire Hybrid T?
500也有 Hybrid T。现在吧，我们这个像坦克，就是一车多动力，一车多动力。
We are like 300 tanks with multiple power sources in our vehicle. For example, we have more power than
这个央视呢，到我们那个新建的
there's one thing that happened to us recently. CCTV comes to our newly built security facility.
好几万平方米的，要不咱们
In the laboratory, has just invested 5.5 billion yuan to build a building covering tens of thousands of square meters.
这个10年的啊，这个一个实验室叫
It's suitable for the whole world. We have a laboratory called Collision Safety Laboratory based on next 10 years, which is our second laboratory.
我们这个高山的
We just did a live broadcast, and it also taken us to the mountains.
现场的碰撞。这个我们这个 MPV 呢，
A live collection test. Our MTV was conceived 5 years ago
打造最安全的 MPV。
with the goal of creating the safest MTV indeed.
的的确确是做的。
The safest MTV architecture has been well executed.
这个车
Our vehicle known as Gaoshan Product Architecture.
高山族群这个产品架构，这个车呢，从5米02到5米2到5米43个尺寸。
Is available in 3 size range from 5.02 meters to 5.4 meters.
2的那个呢，就是加商兼顾。
也可以商用。
The medium-size 5.2-meter model can also be used as commercial purpose. A 5.4 meters model, which also called six-seater with equal rights, provide accessible comfort even when sitting in the last row. Therefore, you can see the car structure design is highly advanced.
这个车得到了顾得级，就是5分，5分，非常棒。
In the China insurance test, this car received a good rating, which is equivalent to the score of 5.
热气成型管儿，
热气成
热气成型管儿，也就是说它很薄，但是呢，它又很轻。这个材质呢
Yet it is also very lightweight, and its material extremely resistant to bending, which is fantastic. Actually, Mr. Wei, I think there's one thing that we are particularly touched by. For yesterday, we had completed 500 million yuan safety tests, and the entire test site was established. We actually know that many car companies nowadays seek third-party collision institution to conduct these tests. One of the biggest problems I remember hearing from them is the need to clean up one by one. The waiting time is very long, which I think will have a significant impact on car development. We plan, design, and build our own equipment. This laboratory is not just for verification. The important thing about laboratory is search. Usually, you need to have this to make many structural innovations, material innovations, and many other innovations. We can always do collision tests in the laboratory. It's active and passive forensic protection, right? We can do all research work. Here, I think we should start with the base chassis. I see many different types of components, and it seems like they are self-developed by us. Maybe Ms. Wei can help us understand this. Because we use four-wheel drive and different locks a lot, we have developed electronic differential locks. Electronically control different locks because their response speed is very fast, and their response speed is in order of tenths of a second. As now we are talking about the domestic market share exceeding more than 50, that's right. Electronic magnetic shock absorber. This is EMB, which is electronic brake. It's controlled by wire. It's using this sensor. It has two easy-to-use sensors, which are part of its control system. It also has a central control system, meaning that if this system fails, another large backup system will take control. This will be commercialized very soon. China is moving faster than in this area. So we are the leading unit, and this is what our class have reported. But we have already done this. Regarding the regulation, we need to wait for that. We still need to wait for experts to go through it. We've been waiting for a while. The country is also involved because it's an innovative product. It's a special procedure for approval and review, including expert review. The steel gears are quite interesting. This is similar for future autonomous driving, which means it can simulate the feedback of how hard of a soft you turn the steel wheel, as well as the feeling of the road. EPS, this is high torque. There are three of them, which is called dual redundancy, except for one you operate, it can fail twice. All those motors have double widening. If one winding of the double widening is broken, what else can cause it? Another winding can connect it immediately. I think there's also the issue of the real issue. We're really looking forward because we just see some vehicles model like Tank and Alpha. Well, when their dimension, especially when they exceed 5 meters, we are also looking forward to see when this real steering technology can be adapted to vehicles like ours. Actually, we don't necessarily have to do this. They are the product provided by major international companies. One issue is that their development time is too long and the cost is very high, with a high unit price. Another issue is that their compatibility is poor. More importantly, now that we have intelligent system, for example, there are all black boxes. When we do OTA optimization, we have to rely on them. So now we have a case that is completely efficient. It is all ours, which means as long as users provide a feedback, we can optimize and implement it immediately,
其实您说的这儿提高我们自己的实力，我觉得这句话说好有底气。
enhancing our own strengths. I think you sounded very confident when you see that. Yes. Sometimes we've been wanting to say, now everyone's talking about the wind resistance as if we're in wind tunnel laboratory. Yes, there's something we call the pneumatic wind power, and I'm going to talk about an experiment, including marine wind resistance under sunlight, and also when you drive fast, it's necessary to test whether the downforce of car shape is sufficient. For example, if we are going to produce a sports car, now we mentioned earlier it's about design of the entire wind tunnel laboratory, right? Yes, could you share us with some of the reason behind our extensive technology research and development, as well as our original intentions? Auto Home is also a vertical media in our automotive industry. We are also their long-time customer. It can be said that we have been cooperating with Auto Home for many years. The cooperation is very good. From the professional perspective, we at Auto Home have very solid foundation. Hello. That is of Auto Home. Let's go together. We're talking at this time. Let's chart and share. For example, we can continue discussing what we just talked about. No problem. This pneumatic wind tunnel is not just for drag. Sometimes, due to the shape of the car, we can't imagine what kind of drag it will generate. Or like our Great Wall, we are laboratories for wind measurement, because sometimes when we drive on the highway, passing a large vehicle can cause it. The experiment conducted by the impact of shape of the plastic on wind resistance. It's not just about whether the car will drift due to wind resistance. And it's especially noticeable for sports car, which must have a downforce at high speed. Our laboratory has invested over 500 million yuan. Be honest, the core equipment here is all from Germany, especially the balance. You can see the downforce is controlled by balance. To put it simply, it's a scale, which we call chen in local dialect. It calculated based on the weight of downforce this will put into us in the second half of the year. It's standing in front of an environmental wind tunnel. We have been using this environmental wind tunnel for nearly 10 years, and it remains the best in terms of performance to this day. It can simulate global climate, range from minus 40 degrees Celsius to plus 60 degrees Celsius. It can simulate snowing, raining, and various weather conditions. There are still days left. Sunlight has strongest in this world. I forget which part of the equator it is, but illumination is very strong. Watching its environmental wind simulation is like simulation the highest environment in this laboratory. Mentioned that they were experienced twice the force of level 12 gale, which was not the case in Beijing some time ago. Of course, there are still many labs. We'll also organize everyone. Mr. Wei, I heard a girl over mention Bilibili. I'm not from Bilibili. I have a few questions for you. Interrupt. It is very popular now for senior extrovert to become content creator. So would you do it on Bilibili? Bilibili is a very high-level brand platform. Is my explanation today content answer? Okay, I will listen to you. Bilibili is a platform with a very strong knowledge structure. I often go to Bilibili, especially at the first thing in the morning. I will start with the B egg first, because it takes about 10 minutes and all my tasks are done just now. You can say it too. I have some self-driving needs in my daily life. Knows every corner of the motherland just now. For example, if you want to compare it to our current 4.2 diesel engine, they just went in Xizang province and ran to over 5,000 meters. Look, the diesel engine is a compression ignition, and it doesn't have an ignition system. Its better choice is the diesel engine because it's powerful, economical, and practical. With sufficient power nowadays, diesel engines have shattered people's imagination in the past. Diesel engines are only seen in the tractors or trucks. Nowadays, the image of diesel engines is very good and advanced. It's great, just like driving a gasoline car. Actually, we should talk about the PHEVs. Actually, it's not. Actually, it's not the efficiency that Dow's cars can achieve. Before this exhibition, Dongchedi had a fleet of 44 vehicles. Our tank ran over the way to Shanghai, costing 55 cents per kilometers, while the 4 hybrid models cost 85 cents. Thank you, Mr. Wei. Thank you. The friends present are really enthusiastic. You two remind me a moment, okay? I tend to digress. Speaking of pairs, you two keep me in check. I have an immature suggestion that I didn't mention earlier. You just mentioned that the cell engine on like self-driving. I think that he would take a Harvard G truck and convert it into motorhome. The key point, I think, is too young and he might not be financially independent yet, right? What would I suggest as the most suitable option for him? I would also mention aspect of cost effectiveness. It's right a high mountain over there, and this is the front of a Blue Mountain model. It's supposed to be from Gaoshan 8. Why did it especially launch a welfare version? Both of these grandmother are very curious about why a welfare vehicle is being introduced. I think China's next step is to enter the MPV market. MPV, you see, what we remember most of that is now when we make a small comment online and I talk about history. People say my dad taste is too strong. So you're saying about me, absolutely not you. He and his brother were born in 1995. How can I sound not old-fashioned? Only the 3-box car was considered a sedan, which made it seem more luxurious. People of my age in China like me realized later that the sedan should have been replaced by SUV by 2002. Back then, SUV accounted for a large proportion of passengers' vehicles. Mention that a proportion of SUV was very low. I remember it was only a little over 5% in 2005, but now SUVs have reached 55%, surpassing sedans. Why has 3 has been a process? Why would have thought that our road conditions were not so good back then? In fact, our country has the most impressive transportation infrastructure in the world. Why do we call it the most impressive transportation infrastructure? Look at the past. We didn't have the high-speed rail or took slow train or local train. There were many airline and highway either.
你看为什么我们坦克卖得好？
I asked him to say that I would take in China's high-speed railway is very
他
impressive.
买的坦克呀，他找坏路，造坏路。他
You see why we tanks sell well because of emotional value. If someone buys a tank, they will find a bad road to create a bad road, and they will drive on the bad road.
为什么叫 MPV 时代呢？现在我们提倡二航，是吧？需要座位多。我们呢？
So why we do call it an MPV area nowadays? We advocate having 2 children right now. We need more seats.
就是我们进入了老龄化。
We don't have any bad roads now, and we indeed have an unavoided reality. We have entered the aging era. So there is unwritten rule in motorcycles, also called custom. The pedal is the home of the rider. Why? The pedal can be easily stepped on. Cars,
就是 MPV
on the other hand,
汽车人的归属，
are the home of car people.
上起来非常方便，
Because getting on and off the car is very convenient.
是吧？成员多，
And there is ample space for convenience, right? There are many members. Besides,
你从那个
when a car is modified, you can see that seats extended out. If you have a
它就可以
mobility issue, you can sit on a wheelchair and perform here. Maybe you can return to your original seat after the performance.
车的一些版本，对。然后我会感觉，我看到这个车的时候，我感觉它有个细节，我不知道是。
Now, I feel like when I see this car, I notice a detail. I don't know if other MTV have achieved this, but this descent height has been lower, very low. It's actually like extending out and then continuously descending, yes.
我发现了，
对，更加方便的去往下去挪动去。对，而且就是我们这个座椅呢，它也有通风加热，包括
看着这边是电线，应该是线，
对，这些这个线，
就是咱们连接的这些。
对，它本身这个座椅有通风加热，对一些老人呀。
The while on the speaker 5 side should be this one. Yes, that's one. There are the one we connected. The seat itself has ventilation and heating, which is friendly to some elderly people. Yes, now we see that it's a welfare benefit.
我觉得我们这些做这个福祉车型，对于这种家里老人其实是有。
I actually have suggested that I think the continuing to produce welfare vehicle is of the great benefit to elderly people in their homes. For example, we have models like current 8-seater Highland and the later models like 7-seater SUV. Can we also offer similar official installation service like this?
这个是滑门啊，这个宽度是800多，对，而且它是直的。你像
There are many,
你看后边那个门
yes, and they are upright. It's like SUV, like the door at the back.
是吧？它而且它也没这么宽。再一个呢，它上下车便利性。
Besides, it's not so wide and it's convenient for getting out of the SUV.
我们离地到这儿是300多一点
365。
哎，365。你看，我们可以迈2步台阶儿。
Because here you see the distance from the ground to here is 300. You see, we can take 2 steps up the stairs. Now, considering convenience, is to say 2 steps up the stairs. You see,
化的时候，我们也管它啊，这是一个
it's very convenient. So when it comes to aging, we can also take care of them.
挺有意思的吧？
This is the happiness of multi-generation living together. It's quite interesting here. Nowadays, the refrigerator has an independent compressor and can hold.
我们是净空间，然后呢，这个
Knowing both the cold and the warm.
材料我们叫
It's referring to the concept of cold and warm.
这个
Where gene space, now we have color TVs, but we don't call them color TVs anymore. We call them cinema.
扬声器，这里边当然有 AI 的那些技术。
Of course, incorporate AI technology. You can also use it for karaoke, which is very convenient.
看着我就觉得它应该配
It's a sofa.
而且这台咱们的8跟9应该也都已经公布了咱们的预售价了。我当时在看，就是
And the pre-scale price for our 8 and 9 model should have been announced as well. I remember seeing them. Our 8 model should be priced at
我觉得咱们做这个 MPV 的决心其实是非常之大的，而且就是看到这么多的配置，然后整体这个性价比又非常。
When I saw the pre-sale price, I felt our determination to make an MPV was actually very strong. And after seeing so many configurations, I noticed that the overall cost effectiveness was very high.
操稳性，等哪天你们试一试，这个车
没问题。
非常矜持，非常矜持。
You should try it someday. It is very well equipped because the MPV can be said to have 4-wheel drive, which provides super stability.
但是因为我今天确实是能够。
Mr. Wei, to be honest, I really don't. I think have a strong penalty stick. I'm not blowing you, but because I was able to participate in this live broadcast today, I feel like I can closely sense the original intention behind the Fuji version of the car model you just mentioned, right? It's targeted users and the usage scenarios. Also, because I arrived quite early this morning, Mr. Wei would be making coffee here.
实际上那个咖啡啊，好像是个舶来品。但是呢，中国的咖啡也有近100年。
Coffee seems to be exotic product, but coffee in China has a history of more than 100 years. We invited a coffee expert who has been working with coffee in Yunnan for more than a decade. We asked him to ask about how to grind coffee, how to brew coffee, and what kind of taste would be better.
也就是说，
This is to say,
我们那个产品都是以咖啡命名。
our products are all named after coffee,
这个座舱
such as our cockpit operating system.
高山蓝山，哎，小兄弟，小兄弟，慢点，慢点，慢点。
Unlike the Blue Mountain, the High Mountain,
注意注意。
谢谢魏总，真的，我觉得就是什么人群的朋友，魏总今天都考虑到了。我就是想说，如果大家来不了，哎，
一会儿那个是不是让我们里边坐呀？
对
你可以上车体验。
魏总您好，主持人好，咱们可以上车体验。
好，那我坐里面吧。
坐里边，坐里边。好嘞，来，小鱼，
哎，我坐这里。
哎，这还真不错哎。是，咱们。
本总好，主持人好，我是本次技术体验官。
it's great. Host is great. I'm the technical experience officer Ray. Now we are riding the new generation of a concept cockpit of GWM. We have equipped it with more than 23 independently developed cutting-edge technology. Then we can achieve 6 major models, including camping drive, welcome, entertainment, layer meeting, and our rest model. I just feel that I didn't see the speakers of the audio system, but the sound seems to come from the cockpit.
像这个座舱，
不，这个里头啊，它有一个技术，就是无扬声器技术。这个也就是说，它贴个盖儿。
This has one technology, speaker-free technology. That means it's attached here.
这个技术呢，
Of course,
应该说对
as is a technology should cause some loss of energy, but it's very friendly for motorcycles. For example, I don't have a speaker on the motorcycle, but I can still make sound and have a subwoofer. So it's not afraid of rain. It's not afraid of rain. If you have a speaker, the motorcycle can protect it from rain, right?
的系统，我看应该是。对，然后包括我看你用到的这些音乐，还有我后来才知道。
I think the coffee OS system we are currently developing should be like this, including the music you are using. And I later found that every one of the music is now charged for the license and patent fees, similar to charging one machine at a time. Some car companies have previously seen us say that users want things like QQ Music and NetEasy Cloud, but they have not been able to access them. So why are they unwilling to pay for them? They are unwilling to spend more money to give users a better experience. I think we have done a very good job in this area, and I think the overall level of delicacy is also very good, including the 3D desktop. Many media outlets believe that traditional cars like ours may not be able to keep up with the new forces in developing digital intelligence. In fact, there is no such thing as that. Our coffee OS is not better than fluency, and we may have an L2 for 5 or 6 consecutive months. We are all in the first few months and very fluent. I think that's copied is a bit like the design of a future L4 autonomous driving model. It's currently in a conceptual stage. In the conceptual stage, we just look at the hardware in the future. There will be many challenges to regulations, right? The extensive challenge of traffic regulations, laws, and ethics. As we just mentioned, the topic of autonomous driving, actually, when we look at it before, we investigated into things should now be called assisted driving and autonomous driving, now including some official policy requirement a few days ago. It is not allowed to be called assisted city. I started to do the live broadcast on the internet last year. I have done several live broadcasts about Zhijia, our GWM. It's remained, means human-machine interaction. It must be assisted driving, right? We must speak of life as a top priority. Life comes first always. So we still call our netizens and ourselves. For who are self-driving, it is essential to comply with traffic regulations and not let go. This is a requirement advocated by the country and is very correct. It is a form of assistance. When I went to Thailand for Chinese New Year, I saw a lot of tram, including our Ola. And I also think that we have done a very good job in the whole process of supporting our pure electronic vehicles. I can see that today, as there was a Bilibili station and our car home working together, they both arrived at us. Electronic vehicles should be miniaturized. They are used for urban purposes. When electronic cars first started more than a decade ago, they were defined as city cars because they didn't have travel anxiety and were very, very friendly to city. It is also very friendly to the city because one is that the manufacturing cost is low, and the other is that it occupies less resources on the road, making parking environment. Moreover, the efficiency of each charge is also very high. Therefore, electronic vehicle will definitely not become larger, definitely not larger. Before I arrived at the booth, I already saw the engine of our big V8. Oh my God, I really didn't expect so many people to see V8 engine here because before coming to auto show, everyone knows that it would be appear on booth. I didn't expect it to be so enthusiastic on site. And I also want to ask, we all know the significance to this engine to us, but it still has some technical difficulties that are difficult to overcome. Can Mr. Wey can help us explain and encourage it? Maybe what I said is not accurate. Our expert is here to listen to me. Firstly, we strongly support and approve of national strategy for electrification and new energy. However, I think there are some regrets about what we have done. It's too radical. And electronic vehicles are getting bigger and bigger. And our country is a future car manufacturer, a manufacturing car and about a strong country. What is the concept of an automotive powerhouse?
是吧？而且呢，你像咱们国家，很显然我们去西藏，电动车肯定不适应，
找不着充电点。
哎，找不到这儿。而且你到西藏、新疆，它一旦又冷，是吧？天气寒冷，这电池
衰减了又。
衰减肯定不行，冰雪天。所以说呢，
Definitely won't attenuate. We have always adhered to a strategy called full power strategy. So when I said diesel, now I say gasoline. We already have it. At that time, we look at the architecture and finally get a V69.0 later return. Said that V8 also brings us a lot of imaginative space. You can make a super sport like a car, like this. It seemed like we saw a very invisible disguised SUV in Baoding, right? It is available in the future. Install engine power on a vehicle. He has a lot of room for imagination like you do now. Like BBA inside the car. He has at least reached the threshold and is also a Weibao. You can't afford to spend over 2 million to 1 million yuan on an electric car. So if you want to buy a car worth over 1 million yuan, has emotional value, emotions has it is not afraid of fuel consumption, right? In my lifetime of building cars, I have to get a V8. If the sense require it, even a half mile may be not necessary. Is our angle 90 degrees? This is our turbocharger with 4 cylinders on the one side and then split it into different circuits. To be honest, this is a dual spray system, which means that the other screw can be changed. Then there can be one air duct and one direct injection when driving at high speed. And the air duct can be used while idling. Also has a fuel saving effect. Our V6 is also like this. Of course, it will depend on our horizontal alignment later. Motorcycle, in fact, is control strategy and software architecture are the same, except for one with a large displacement, one with micro size, and one with a horizon upside design. Liger, you said this is our self-development control software, but actually it has 4 more cylinders. We have added 60,000 control parameters and 15,000 calibration parameters to achieve precision control of a single cylinder and coordination on both sides. This way, whether it is fuel injection, ignition, or intake, we can achieve the best overall smooth fueling. Be honest, how many kilowatts do you still need? We haven't agreed yet, but we won't let him know.
哦，对，不让说，不让说，差点我忘了那个，但是这个是个 P2 架构，可以说动力非常强劲的，非常强劲。
I forgot, but this is P2 architecture, and it can be said that power is very strong, very powerful. It can be equipped with both AT.
就是 AT
绕变速箱，
不加新能源，不加电机，
纯油的。
纯油的，下来让你猜。
Does not add new energy or motors, pure oil.
也可以期待。
也得让你猜。
我看这边有直播，我们考虑了一下。
哎，
来，我们
来，
这边。
老高，来，这个
老师，
那谁啊？不要举着，小鱼，我给你介绍一下啊，这是我们 B 站的2个 UP 主，
邵老师好。
这个你说话我举的。
虎克之路的创始人。
你怎么
做功课。
你够牛的。
Let me introduce you to these two uploaders on our Bilibili. Hello.
但是呢，那我也得，因为网友们不知道，
The Vietnamese don't know.
宁夏呀有一个也是内蒙的交界的地方，有个虎克公园。今天呢，他那个虎克公园啊。
There is a place in Ningxia, which is also at border of Inner Mongolia, called Huke Park. What is the area of the Huke Park today?
我们保定市3环以内那么大，当然大家没去过，100平方公里很大。
How big is that? I have visited within the third ring road of Baoding City, which is so large.
靳松先生请来，
Of course, no one has been there before. It is 100 square meters, and I have been there today. I have invited Mr. Gao Jinsong,
虎克吧，
the founder of Huke, to join us.
就是攀岩。这个说实话，
The main function being rock climbing
老高
of the Huke.
拉着我走他那个攀岩，而且放着那个激进的音乐。
I went there, and Mr. Gao put me in this rock climbing site, playing radical music.
我没给他说过，我给我们的团队说过。
Climbed to the top of the mountain and ran, but I didn't tell him. I told our team that Mr. Gao didn't know he was holding a boss with worth over 100 million yuan.
所以说，这个攀岩也是有风险的，也是
So that rock climbing is also very risky and professional.
一会儿随着我们的镜头，
Today we invite Mr. Gao to come and follow our camera. We will also introduce us to his hook and his car. And let him performance here. We have another one here.
虎克我就不介绍了啊，有魏总给我介
I
绍，
want to introduce Hooker.
我为什么要感谢一下？
Mr. Wei's introduction to me is much stronger than mine, but why should I thank him? I feel like I have achieved my dream, so I will also interact with Mr. Wei. My dear friends, through a question.
我觉得没有前途。
Mr. Wei, do you think there are any shortcuts in automotive industry?
硬桥板呢，等于让我们的长城和魏总
I think there is indeed no.
所有的流程全部
This hard bridge board is equivalent to the breaking heart of our GWM and General Manager Wei.
我特别感谢魏总，我觉得汽车工业就是没有捷径的，就像我们的越野也没有捷径，我们是一群人去对抗。
So why do I ask General Manager Wei's
还有
statements?
就像我们在站的每一个人，我们的生命也没有捷径，我们的生命不需要那么多大道理，也不需要那么多的经历，让我们天天去让我们自己需要去。
I think there are no shortcuts in the automotive industry, just like there are no shortcuts in our off-road. We are a group of people who go back and forth to resist the difficulties, find the background of the company in the difficulties. And just like everyone should stand down, there are no shortcuts in our lives. Our lives do not need so many great principles Not do we need so much energy. Let us go and understand what we need to do every day. So automotive industry should not take shortcut because it corners everyone's life family. As Mr. Wey often said, if you go out, you must come back. So he fulfilled my dream. I am off-road enthusiastic. So I think Mr. Wey has brought off the road back to its essence, the automotive industry back to its essence, and I feel back to its essence.
大家太热情了。
它把这个轴距拉长了之后呢，越野性能呢会更好，然后还有平衡感，转胎更好。然后底盘呢，跟技术呢都重新说了，它要重新设计再提升。而且我们想的有一个想法就是。
The retired chassis technology, and they need to redesign and improve them. And I want to have an idea. I also want to you apply for it. We will fulfill, showcase our entire process, a clever process, various defects from customer to all off-road enthusiasts.
我们敢面对我们真实的自己，
We dare to face our true ourselves. Mr. Wey said he doesn't want to sit on a mountain top again next time.
我们这儿正在直播。
长度一面
咱们这个刚才提到的3.0的 HiPo-T 这个。
这个这个是这样，就是这个700呢，刚才您说了，那么现在是这样，就是包括前段日子呢，那个董宇辉老师也去了，当时做了好多马克思。我今天呢，因为我跟你只是偶遇，那我想申请一下，我也开台坦克700，以后有他们去的时候。
Today, because we just happened to meet,
可以啊，可以啊，这个车呢，
I requested you also on tank.
高端的一款，有这个空调，这个配置也很。
It's fine. The car is the most high-end one in our tank. With an empty bed and a higher configuration, it is a 30-liter Harvard T3.0 development with excellent power and a very solid chassis. Please feel free to experience it.
非常有意思，就是在我创业的时候我开过一个
It's very interesting. When I started my business, I ran a motorcycle repair shop where I fixed carburetors.
哎，这个不能往里走了，哎，控制住啊，控制住，因为这个车呢只有一台，
已经卖了，我看看。
已经卖了这个。
Because their car only has one, and it has already been sold. Let me see if it has been sold. Briefly talk about this car, because although I used to have a close relationship with the motorcycle and work in the repair industry, I want to hear that our car is only 8-cylinder, one that I know of.
可能开机动车的时候，第一次开机动车都是摩托车。
It's like this for people my age. When they start a motorcycle, the first time they start is motorcycle. They don't dare to have a car, it's okay. In 1984, I have a car made in Shanghai. The Happiness 220 red car is still a new car. Since then, I've been very young. Riding a motorcycle in my 20s was very luxury, very extravagant. You have a BMW now and are even extravagant enough to look at me.
在我这个岁数，现在应该说，
But you really see me so?
我要是在45岁的人，在乡村里边的人，
At my age, it should be said that anyone in the country who is about 45 years old in rural areas has experience with motorcycles. However, the speed of the reform and opening up in our country is too fast, and the development of automobiles is too fast. They have quickly switched to the cars.
这个摩托车呢，
In fact, everyone have a dream of motorcycle ride.
重机都是
So-called poetry and distant motorcycle can be said to fill a gap in China. Heavy machinery are all foreigner brands, okay. So we set to go to create easiest as the most manageable heavy machine to handle because it doesn't have its own automatic capabilities.
特别好开，大也很大，重也比较重。
The three-level confunction between the speaker is particularly good. It is also very big and heavy. But we follow the Chinese sitting posture. Yes, because I'm short. We will create a sitting posture for my short people. You are very safe to sit on it. I am your fan. You are very symbolic. You are very symbolic. And the sitting posture is very short. So as long as you have 1.6 meters to drive it, it will be okay. He's very safe because he feels can touch the ground. I come from motorcycle repair background because I have old happiness while repairing motorcycle. It's happiness with 2 kgs hanging beside him. Of course, some agriculture products, so what I want to understand is that beside the kinds, it has pioneering spirit.
这款应该是咱们今年刚刚上市的，咱们的。
This should be our product that just launched this year.
我给大家就这个长城炮我给大家做个介绍。
Let me introduce the GWM Canton to you.
这个车给大家介绍，我给这个二手车贩子介绍介绍。
Arrive at this car. I'm gonna talk about this car. Have a short introduction to this car.
我可以说这个车在皮卡里边，
Wait a moment.
豪华度、智能化。
I can say that this car is a pickup truck, which is a botanic pickup truck with luxury and intelligence. Because we also have F-150. It includes everything from the helix to the public.
虽然 F-150那么大，它也
Shape.
后边的这个噪声非常大。
Actually, all of their real sitting positions are uncomfortable. Even though the F10 is so big, it is also uncomfortable. The noise in the back is very loud. Our car design has solved all these problems. Let me report to you. Come and take a look.
你看我们你看这儿它没有
Look here. It doesn't have that line.
过去的时候，
And there is no resistance when the wind passes through here. Has no noise.
3到米厚。
Has 3 seals.
我们这个玻璃是双层，就是说这个风一旦从前面打过来的时候，通道会产生一个涡流。
And our glass is double layered, which means that once the wind comes from the front, a vortex will be generated from here, and no one can go through the vortex.
传到车里边。
We need to work hard to transmit the outlet current through the
然后呢，这个铁板
rear bumper to the inside of the car. So you see, there is also a sealing requirement. The iron pallet behind it is sandwich iron pallet filled with glue,
等它这个涡流这个震动大的时候，
which means that when eddy current variation is large, we will absorb its energy with glue.
噪声就小了，而且这个座椅上
And the noise has decreased, and this seat can electrically adjust and pick up trunk, which may be only one that can be adjusted. Quite comfortable to sit on it. So we often start out as pickup, including driving it to Sichuan. It's great there is no bad treatment for taking the truck load, because this is also something our company needs to reform.
刚才您说 F-150猛禽
Just as that you have driving pickup, the truck has the F-150 Raptor, Ram, Hurricanes, and Cox, which remind me of the time when you look at like a Pharaoh. At that time, I feel like you might be the one of the few on the planet, but you have driven many of those cars. And even some of them are envy and want to drive.
注意点，注意点。
我们往那边移动一下，因为今天我知道
Let's move this way because today I know Another segment that I really looked forward to is because everyone may have static exhibitors at car shows before, right? But this time I found it GWM platform. Yes, there is a park. Can you believe it?
第一次把我们那个长城摩托骑出国门啊，对对对，
这是我们的灵魂首批车主。
This is our sole car owner.
魏总啊，和魏总有个约定，把车交了以后，一定要第一。
Tiger brother rode our great war motorcycle out of the country for the first time.
骑出国门走上世界。
谢谢，
我做到了吧？
做到了，谢谢你的支持，谢谢。好，
再一个，我们组织活动，跟我们一块儿骑行吧，到新疆。
可以。
Okay, let's organize an activity to ride with us to Xinjiang. You can be invited, no problems. I'll ride for a while, no problem. Okay.
这个就是我们那个8缸摩托车的动力总成。
This is the powertrain of our 8-cylinder motorcycle. In fact, there are significant differences between the motorcycles and cars. You see, cars basically have both engines and transmissions.
基本上就是发动机和变速器都是分开设计。这个摩托车呢，
Separate design.
手动挡的，
Whether the motorcycle is manual or automatic, it must be integrated design.
很多难度啊。这个它这个变
And this actually brings a lot of difficulties, including the lubrication system of the transmission.
一体的。
是一回事儿，它是用一种
And it's not related to engine.
所以说呢，
It's
这个对于
integrated,
挑战。
one thing. So it is a challenge for motorcycles. Be honest,
小鱼问的这个有一个
I'll ask question today.
开了很多车，实际上
We have driven many cars, in fact,
虽然起步很早，
although our country's
真正发
automobile industry started very early. Its real development was after the reform and opening up, right? Over the past 40 years of reform and opening up, our GWM has truly developed for more than 30 years. It has been said that our Great War has a history of 35 years.
小兄弟是一个新兵，
In the Long River automobiles, we are still a little brother and new recruits.
老前辈
We constantly benchmark and learn from our predecessors and international big brands, paying tribute to them. Actually, our reform and opening up has given us too much space.
也非常的多。你比方要没
You obtained a lot of resources. If you don't join the venture, where would you get so many components? How can our independent brand develop without so many components?
中国的汽车呀，
So in the future, Chinese cars has only been around for over 30 years, right? We have a heavy responsibility and a long way to go. We should learn and develop together with Europe, America, Japan, and South Korea. So let's go drive Ferrari and buy a Rolls Royce, right?
我们去买劳斯莱斯，是吧？我们买这么多车，主其目的还是学习。
Our main purpose in buying so many cars is still focused on learning,
以前有这样水平对置6缸的，
innovation, like this one.
当然挑战很大啊。
They used to have a horizontal upside 6-cylinder engine. Of course, making an 8-cylinder engine is also a great challenge. Motorcycles also have their own technical points. For example, many of the components are lightweight, and many of our boats are made of aluminum alloy.
对，还好抢得多。好吧，接下来可能就到了咱们这次
大胆的环节。我觉得我看到这个区域的时候，我就想说，这个胆子也太大了吧！哪有在车展上面搞一个 off-road 的乐园呢？
来，
我刚刚开始看见的时候，我们
啊，好，魏总，您上副驾，
没
您上副驾，然后我们高老师来
去演示一下。
我们要不要先大概演示一下？我们在那边。
Should we just give a rough demonstration first?
这样的台阶，
I didn't really understand why I had to make such a step. It wasn't until the car came over that I realized we had to climb up. Let me take a look first. You take a look at the whole picture.
真这么爬上来
小鱼先帮
Thank you.
大家体验一下。
I and Xiao Yu will first help everyone experience it.
那个地方其实角度也是非
那
常
块
大。
儿是有点儿。
The next second step is not very good.
轮胎加大了。哦，这是那个新款的。
我觉得为了以防万一，咱们
系好安全带，
对系好安全带。
系好安全带。
哇塞！
系了系了系了系了。
Are you fastening their seatbelt? I tell you very bad news. This was my first time driving this car. And you trust us. Trust you first and trust the car second. I really want to see one more thing, Mr. Wei. You are really brave.
那谁呀？这个小卷，一会儿你开一圈。
Xiao Juan, you can turn it around later. Oh, really? I also want to see why you open it.
交叉轴这个是，
这块儿是
关键这是一个在2楼上的交叉轴呀。
Oh, there's a cross axis. Part thing is in this section. It's a cross axis on the second floor.
我感觉魏总好淡定啊，魏总。
二位感觉怎么样？
How do you feel?
就是，尤其是
I just came up when I set up. I was actually scared at the back, especially when I stopped in the middle just now yet.
谦虚了高老师。
谦虚了，高老师太谦虚。
哇塞！
我这边是要再下去。
对，国风桥，然后我们现在是一个下坡。
Has passed, I think the teacher is too eager.
2区过交叉轴。啊。
我有点紧张。
对您对。
I'm a bit nervous.
考验我的心态吧。
Don't test my mentality like this.
我发现了，我
这个坡是不是已经到？这是得是个100%的坡度了吧？
It's a slope really arrived. It must be 100% slope. I have no problem at all.
哇塞！哇塞！这是我今天最喜欢的一部分。
It's my favorite part today. I don't want to experience this again. So, become our users, our user group for 2 months.
对，就刚才那。是。
啊，你怎么保持快乐越野？
So, is that today's emotional value okay?
魏总，之前您说越野。
Mr. Wei, you mentioned earlier that off-road driving cannot rely on screeching. The key is not slow. In fact, when you said that, I didn't have this feeling yet. Maybe only after truly experience it. You see, he used to drive a lot just now. Look at him, slow. The last thing you want to do is not let this tire slip.
我们看过很多越野可能出的事故，
We have seen many accidents that may occur in off-road situation, and some accident may be due to him not having the ability to do so himself.
是因为喜欢越野，找人家开了一个牧马人的。
Originally sold clothing, but later opened a Jeep Wrangler 4S store because he liked off-road driving.
就是 4S 店，
4S store.
他对这个牧马人是非常熟悉的。
He is very familiar with Wrangler. They're very familiar with the special version of the Wrangler and several generations of the car.
说上来就开一个公园，
Therefore, he is not someone who just drive or park. It is because of his background that he likes it that he later invested in 5-gram park. I think, Mr. Wei, you and Teacher Gao are currently same type of people. It's really difficult for you to find ways to achieve to get close to something you like or love.
他叫资深，而且不光资深，还
He is kind of senior.
痴迷，疯狂。
It's very impressive, even crazy,
要不魏总您
also a
我
best.
想坐着看一下你去开一下自己造的车。
不，关键是我开，你敢
Mr.
坐？
Wei, we can expect to see the car you made yourself.
相信您的技术。第二，
那我就不客气了，我告诉你，
我也相信
I believe in your skills first, and secondly,
这个两个小 UP 主，这个故意给我起哄。
把魏总抬到这儿了。魏总真的很好，我们有求必应。我们还要下去展示一下 pose 吗？
我觉得
好像也不用。
who knew that the two small uploads intentionally made fun of them for me? Our CEO has arrived here.
以后我们的
Mr. Wei is really good to always respond to our request.
这个网友们啊，这个 B 站这个 UP 主们啊，
这是搞事情。
Netizens and Bilibili host.
让我这老家伙上来表演一下。这个
Let me come up and perform.
关于
Great.
攀岩啊，我上高总那儿啊，
I am indeed interested in rock climbing. After he took me to run several laps in
对象难度比较低的。
Mr. Gao, I also tried it out with relatively low difficulty.
所以我在这儿呢也做一个小小的表演。
So I'm also doing a small performance here. Actually, I'm telling everyone that as long as you hold the direction, our GWM car is reliable, right? I believe in our own vehicle.
然后看前面那个人，
开始了，开始了。
开的比我都稳。
You drive more smooth than me.
好像应该是唯一一个
哎，慢点，慢点，慢点。
站台上上车的。
我没看到，
他是那个有交叉轴一上，没事儿，你都不是，多厉害啊！往左一点，往左一点，好，走，很稳。我觉得比我流畅多了，
I think Hanwei is much smoother than me.
比我流畅多了。
Is much smoother than me.
又是一个交叉轴。
走，又是一个交叉轴。
It's another cross axis.
看它的方向，
显示出来这个词叫
Show that the literary pitch angle in that direction.
他应该指挥我直走。
No problem, it should be directing me. Tangling.
停下换挡啊！
要换挡那个
I need to stop for a moment. I need to shift to the natural gear on the other side and increase it to the empty island.
然后切到两个。
哎上，那要必须要切两区啊，
You can move it back to the empty island. He has been crying for a long time.
看左侧有没有。
And then switch to
我以前是一个可能对于
2.32.
是没有那么有信心。
这个我不知道他这个
体验完了
缓降怎么样。
特别有人拿脚一起，
所以我特别想买一台这样的车了，应该是。
稍微往右一点，好，再往右一点，再往右，再来点，好，可以，OK，让它再往右一点，再往右一点，把 必须要停的再往右点，再往右点，再往右，你必须要停到中间，你不停到中间。
You must stop to the middle. Stop to the middle.
必须提到中间，让它
Yeah.
过去。
Must mention it. Stop in the middle. Let's say hello to everyone. Wave his hand. The purpose of wearing seatbelts is just to prevent us from sleeping out. Then Mr. Wei deliberately stopped halfway and asked us, say hello to everyone. And two of us hung up in the end. Just go straight ahead and keep walking in the same direction. Take a walk. Take a look at the water. And to go look at the water. Take a walk and take a look. Correct. The P file. Perfect. This is a so amazing different experience. And Mr. Wei has enjoyed watching it. Thank you, Mr. Wei. Still like that experience. Besides, thank you. I still hope that there are no shortcuts in automotive industry. The Great Wall brand is the inheritor of our automotive industry, and we hope you can safeguard our entire process. But it is our 30 years or 40-year history, we have enabled China off-road vehicle to go globally. Let more friends enjoy off-road driving and truly experience and enjoy it. Today we not only saw a lot of technical knowledge from Great Wall Motors, including practical, house-sold and commercial vehicles ranging from 150,000 to 200,000 yuan or even higher, but also various layouts with Great Wall's entire group, as well as Mr. Wei's understanding of oil and electricity. Most importantly, we experienced a completely different off-road experience at Auto Show. So thank you very much for this experience, and I also hope to have more opportunities to meet with Mr. Wei in the future, such as making a wild day together. Yeah, crowd, now I would like to return to our topic today. Thank you very much to netizens in the live broadcast room for accompanying us in today's topic, which is also the beginning of our two-wheel drive era of new energy. As we walk through the exhibition booth in Changchun, we actually talk a lot about technology and more information about our boards and versions. I don't know if you have any more curious questions, but I hope everyone can pay attention to GWM motors and follow Mr. Wei's follow-up trends, right? Because everyone's attention to big V8 is still very enthusiastic. And finally, I would like to ask Mr. Wei, what is his overall feeling today? It's very pleased Bilibili is a platform that is highly knowledgeable and media-lens video oriented. I often go sightseeing in the morning, and we also want to use the platform. This is our little small upload. I can see this is the first time collaboration. I need to take that exam to enter Station B today. So I think you should have tested me again today, right? I have given them a detailed report, and I took forward to join our Bilibili platform as soon as possible. Today, Mr. Gao participated in our off-road activities, and our GWM Motors has also presented a GWM Tank 300 hybrid to our off-road enthusiasts. This means that it can also adapt to various requirements and scenarios. And Mr. Gao's driving has once again planted grass. The netizen of Bilibili also thank our Auto Home for providing us with a lot of strong support. The vertical platform has established a very objective platform for us as a car company and users. I know that although the TikTok has a large amount of information and is very popular now, users can not choose a car without a vertical platform like Auto Home. Overall, we are very pleased with our collaboration today. We at Great Wall Motors will continue to work hard and uphold the spirit of making progress every day in order to provide our customer with more products that meet their satisfaction and preferences. Okay, thank you all. A good technology and product will definitely be seen by everyone. Thank you for coming to our live broadcast room today. We are here to say goodbye to everyone.
What drives us? Curiosity to explore, passion to discover, thirst for adventure, energizing us to go further. With more courage, we scale new heights within ourselves. With more spirits, we deepen our ties through the moments we share.
Looking after a horse means understanding it, not taming it. It's all on you now.
Thanks, Dad.
Take care of the farm!
Enjoy your retirement, Dad!
With more possibilities, we draw strength from the past, inspiring the journey of tomorrow.
Eric! Time to go! I'm in the car. Speed up!
Come on, Mom, why are you doing it to me?
With more love, We nurture those we hold dear, setting them free.
Okay, so you like this place? We're gonna come here most of them, right? So, what are you gonna do after that?
Let's make some snowmen.
Oh, really? You can try that.
Alex!